All right, it is 6 p.m. on this March 11th. I'll call this Town Council meeting to order. Recognize there is a quorum present. Welcome those who are in here in attendance, both in person and those who are tuned in online. Ms. McKay, can we have a roll call, please?
Mrs. Amos.
Here.
Mr. Reed.
Here.
Mr. Dwyer.
Here.
Mr. Parrott.
Here.
Mr. Yolen.
Here.
Mr. Hunter.
Here.
Mr. Hardy.
Here.
All right, first up, we'll do the invocation, which I will lead. You're welcome to join if so inclined, or not to if so inclined. And then we will move into the Pledge of Allegiance led by Vice Mayor Reed. All right. First item up is adoption of the agenda. If there is no changes to the agenda, do I hear a motion to adopt as presented?
Mr. Mayor, if we can, I'd like to move one item. And that's, well, actually, we added last, I think it was, we discussed it last week, and that was council salaries. Can we move that towards the end of the meeting? And let's see if we can take care of the employees first.
Is everybody all right with moving that? We'll just move it to the bottom of the new business.
Thank you.
With the amended agenda, moving that discussion to the bottom of new business. Do I hear a motion to adopt the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Ayes have it. Next up, declaration of personal interest. Do we have anyone who wishes to make a declaration of personal interest concerning anything on the agenda this evening? Not hearing any. We will move into public comment period. Mr. McKay, do we have anyone signed up for public comment period?
Mr. Doug Stanley.
Mr. County Administrator, how are you doing this evening? Always got reading material.
Fire starter material. Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of the council, Dr. Davis and staff. Appreciate the opportunity to be here this evening. I was under the weather last night. Scott got to go to the board meeting without me, but glad I could be here this evening. Just a few things I wanted to highlight, and certainly welcome to answer any questions. One, we held our second annual Household Hazardous Cleanup Day on November 1st of this past year. That was the second year in a row that we've done it. We had a little bit less turnout this time around. I think we're going to pause it for 2026 and shoot for the spring of 27. And I'll try to coordinate with Scott. Y'all usually do a spring cleanup day, Scott. I think maybe, just maybe, we can get a little better turnout on those dates. But we still had a lot of folks that were cleaning out, paints and solvents and gas tanks and all kinds of stuff. But we're going to try to see if we can maybe maximize that and advertise it with the town next year to get more turnout from folks in the community. We were, I want to thank the members of our General Assembly delegation in putting in some requests for us, including for the Sandy River project that we spent $2 million on and then got, I'll say, sandbagged by the state. And we're trying to recoup that. And also, it's a joint project with the town to go back and looking for funds for the Mary E. Branch renovation project. And Senator Cyphers and his staff have told me they are willing to go back again next year. So we'll be working with them. 2 weeks ago, we had staff from the Virginia Department of Health, including the secretary for the agency, at the cannery, and a bunch of volunteers through the Medical Reserve Corps, New Life Church, and Hunters for the Hungry. And we were able to produce 1,300 quarts of venison soup this year, and that's going to be distributed through FACES. Great local project, great way to get a lot of different groups involved in a community project like this and help feed those in our community who can't necessarily afford to feed their families. So appreciate that. We have just recently submitted a $1 million grant for grading a pad at the industrial park out at the business park through the Tobacco Commission, and we're going to be submitting another grant to the Virginia Business Ready Sites Program. And I don't know, Scott, we may need a letter of support for you in that process, but I'll reach out if they ask for that. The IDA has been busy at their February meeting. We're selling 2 acres off to a private developer for Department of Corrections and Probation Parole Office, a 1-acre site to NBC, Mid-Atlantic Broadband, for some new fiber cabinets for the fiber coming into Farmville and Farmville. This is necessary for them to be able to make sure they've got the bandwidth and can handle that, and will also support the other broadband projects that we have in the area. We're going to lease a 5-acre site to Planet Network for their expansion of their broadband project. They've got a couple sites in town that y'all have probably chased them around town where they're parking their fiber and trucks and stuff, and they just need additional room for that. Our landfill engineer has completed the compaction report, and last year we put in 36,579 tons of trash at a rate of about 1,800 pounds per cubic yard, and that will give us a remaining life of the currently licensed cell at about 9.8 years. So we've got about 10 years, and we do this on an annual basis. Don't worry, we've got 500 acres out there. We can expand our permit. We've got enough land to take care of the trash needs for our community for a long, long time, but that's our current license. So, excuse me. Elementary school project is moving along very, very well. They were able to move into the new addition. That's some of the staff offices and some of the classroom space and the library, which allowed them to now start renovating some of the portions of the old portions of the building. This summer, all those portable units hopefully will disappear, and they'll actually be able to complete the new entrance that'll be coming into the site. So the project won't be complete till the spring of '27, but it will start really shaping up here in the near future. Our Connects Planet Network broadband project, we've in total, they've almost hit 1,200 installs in Prince Edward County. The overall 3-county project is about 56.5% complete. I would say Prince Edward is well far ahead of Lunenburg and Cumberland in that respect, but they are hiring additional staff, about 50 additional staff, and adding trucks and trailers and stuff. So hopefully that will allow them to, what I call ramp up production this spring, summer, and fall, and get us closer to completing that project as it moves forward. This past December, we finished up our Worsham convenience site and opened that on January 8th. We will be looking to upgrade both our Prospect and Verso sites in the coming years. At Route 307, VDOT recently completed a project to provide lighting and advanced flashing signs at that intersection. I don't know if you've been through there at night, but it definitely is much more, things are a bit more visible and hopefully a little bit safer as well. Our public radio system project is moving along. I am proud to say that we've been able to sign 2 leases for the 3 towers. The third one, Dr. Davis and I are working on, that's with Dominion Power here at their tower right off of Millwood, and we're hopeful that's going to happen maybe in the next 30 to 60 days. Fingers crossed, right, Scott? The good news is they have space and they've got, I guess, the engineering weight limit to be able to handle our equipment. It's just a matter of trying to get an agreement on the lease. Pleased to report that we're going to have a remote area medical or RAM clinic be held in Prince Edward County Middle School March of '27. They had one last year in Cumberland, and that was well received. A lot of people from Prince Edward were able to go and get free medical care during that event for things that they normally might not be able to go to the doctor or free clinic for. So you'll hear a lot of talk about that in the coming year as we ramp up to that. Just the last thing, since the last time I was here, we've been able to complete our comprehensive plan. I know the town is getting ready to go at some point to go back through some of that as well, but plan's up, it's online. I was really pleased that we used the same vendor that the town did. Hopefully there's a lot of continuity and meshing between the two plans so that it's a little bit more uniform than maybe it used to be. So with that, I'll be happy to answer any questions you might have.
I have one question. The 307 lighting project, did that help with accidents?
I can just anecdotally tell you, I haven't seen a nighttime accident since that went in. Accidents overall are down in the last couple of years when they made some changes out there. They pushed the westbound traffic into one lane approaching, and that has seemed to, I think, reduce the number of misses where maybe they couldn't see that second car from behind. So I think it's a lot better anecdotally, but proof will be in the pudding. Let's wait a year or two and look at numbers.
Ms. Stanley, I'm just curious, does your recycling center, for instance, the one out toward Rice, can you take hazardous stuff out there at any time, or?
We don't. We take like TVs and monitors, computer monitors and things like that. We take the regular recycling. Glad you brought it up. We are now single stream in the containers. So your plastics, your cardboard, and your paper all can go in one. The vendor that we now utilize doesn't need it separated any longer. The other thing I'm working on is to be able to accept glass, which none of us are able to do currently. I'm hoping maybe by this time next year, we'll be able to take glass as well in at least one location, which I know is we've got folks that leave out of our community right now to take glass to other communities to recycle it. There's not a lot of market for glass, but if we can do that, we'll hope so. But hazardous waste, folks need to hold that and save it up until we have an event, and then we'll make sure we advertise it for them.
Any additional questions? Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have anyone else sign up for public comment? Ms. McKay?
Mr. Rick Ewing.
Good evening. I'm Rick Ewing, Library Director for Farmville and Prince Edward County. Mayor, council members, Dr. Davis. First of all, before I say anything, I know this is not the best time for this talk, so I'll just say that. But tonight I'm just going to go over my request for an increase in our budget. I emailed a formal letter to Scott Davis, but I'd like to talk a little bit about it in person. My request is to add one part-time position to the Farmville Library staff. This will be a youth services specialist to focus on school-aged children and teens. Currently, we have one part-time youth services specialist who focuses on preschool programs and activities. She's is incredibly busy. When I started here as director a while ago, we were getting between 1 and 2 children per week total for story times. Now we have 2 story times, and we're getting between like say maybe 20, average about 20 student or children for each story time. And she does baby times twice a week, and we just recently added a sensory story time for preschoolers who need a little bit different environment to enjoy story time. So this new position will have much more interaction with kids who are 6 to 18, and we'll have a teen advisory board. That's where we invite teens to tell us what they want, involve them in the planning of that. We'll have activities for all kids, like late night at the library, escape rooms, book clubs, gaming, crafts. Use your imagination. I know that my staff and I will as well. If we don't get this position, then we'll lose preschoolers who are aging out of that age group, because there's so many preschoolers, and we have to continue to serve them, that we haven't really started up the the after preschool. We just don't have the staff for it, but we will. So we'll lose those kids because there won't be as much or almost nothing to do, and we'll never get to the teens because they're not going to show up unless we show up. That's just the way it works. We have to put in the effort and the time. And kids nowadays need to socialize with other kids their own age and get out of the home, learn, explore. They don't do that much, but we can help with that. The increase I'm asking for is 100% only for this position. It covers nothing else at the library. I'm not asking for any other money. We're not getting, staff's not getting raises this year, for instance. We're really cutting back as much as we can. And by the way, I've asked Prince Edward County to pay for the majority of this position because fair is fair. They have more people who use the library system. But I'll finish with a note that I got from the elementary school librarian. I just got this a couple of days ago. Thank you for your partnership with Prince Edward County Elementary School and for Sarah Winston. She's our coordinator of youth services. Time and talents and commitment to our schools. Sarah's outreach programs have been stellar. Read alouds, book giveaways, and involvement during important school events. All students have been benefiting tremendously. It's the community involvement from county institutions and organizations like CVRL, our library system, that make Prince Edward a special place to work and call home. Signed and sincerely signed Leslie Stimpert, the elementary school librarian. So just asking you to consider it. I know you have a big challenge, so I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Any questions that I can answer? Thank you.
What's the numerical number?
I'm sorry?
What's the number? What's the increase you're looking for?
Oh, I don't have that exact number in front of me, but it's something about, it's 1/3 of the total cost. It's about something like $7,200, something like that.
Thank you.
It's in the letter that I
It's in the
sent
letter.
out.
Yeah, we can get a copy of it.
Thank you.
I mean, if I remember correctly, I think the total ask was like 91,000 or something like that. But,
It's in.
I mean,
just-
it's already in the budget that
Okay,
you haven't seen yet.
okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right. Anyone else signed up for a public comment, Ms. McKay?
No, sir.
We'll close public comment period. Next item is the consent agenda. You have the draft minutes of the 2026-01-21 joint meeting and the Planning Commission meeting work session and the February 11th regular council meeting before you. If there are no changes, do I hear a motion to adopt the consent agenda as presented?
Make a motion, we approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor? Aye. Those opposed? Ayes have it. Next up is the finance report, February 2026. Ms. Julie Moore.
Good evening. You have the February finance report in front of you. For VIP, we earned $11,251. For Benchmark, we earned $3,418. LGIP was $23,659, and the SNAP account was $38,633. So for February, we earned $76,961. Any questions on that? No. While I'm here, so last month, a citizen came up and made a public comment, and I wanted to address that comment with you. They made a comment that in our budget, we say that when Dr. Davis presented it, he said there was no transfers. But this person indicated that there was transfer, that there was money from the Water and Sewer Fund that was coming to the general fund. And Before I get into explaining that, I would like to say that if we did that, that would be misrepresenting grossly, and I could lose my license. And I worked extremely hard to get my CPA license, and I would never jeopardize that. I'm the most transparent person that there is. If you ask me a question, I'm going to give you that answer and 15 other answers to make sure you have the full picture so that you can make a really good decision. So what we go by is GASB, which is Governmental Accounting Standard Board, and that dictates what local governments, how they should report their things. It's the equivalent to the IRS and tax rules. The IRS tells you, what you can deduct and what you can't. GASB tells you how to report things on your statements. And GASB defines a transfer as when you give money to another fund and you get nothing in return. A reimbursement is basically when you're paying them back for goods and services that you've incurred. So localities have shared services. So the Water and Sewer Fund do not have a accounts payable, a payroll person, a receivable person. All of that is in the finance department, which is paid by the general fund. That's the prime example. Like my 3 window workers, they collect water and sewer billings every month. I have an accounts receivable clerk that 90% of her time is doing water and sewer billing. Only 10% is on miscellaneous billing. My payroll girl pays the water and sewer payroll. Same for accounts payable. They do all this stuff, and so then the water and sewer fund has to pay them back for their portion of it. I don't make up that number. We have a firm called Maximus, who a lot of localities use, and they take all the data and they come up and they give us a report and they say that this is the amount of money that the water fund owes the general fund for these services. And it's not just my department, it's Scott's department. It's like Public Works department. It's all the departments. They look at everything and they come back and say, this is how much is owed. And so then we give that money back every month to the general fund. In the budget, it also says, under the water and sewer, it says reimburse general fund. It doesn't say transfer because it's not a transfer. It is merely moving the money back, paying it back, because you have to look at the water and sewer fund as businesses. If you had a business and you outsourced your payroll to like ADP is not going to do your payroll for free. You have to pay them. Well, that's the same concept here. The general fund should not have to absorb all that cost. The water and sewer fund should pay you back for that cost. If not, then what you'll end up doing, if you don't ask them to pay you back, then you're going to have to raise taxes to be able to absorb those costs. And then that's not fair to the taxpayers because some taxpayers aren't getting those services. Some of them, like I know 2 council members who do not have water and sewer. So why should they have to pay for those, for the salaries and other expenses that go along when they're not receiving those benefits? So having that put into those funds, it helps also give you a better picture of where those funds truly are. So that's all. Any questions?
Any questions from Ms. Moore at this time?
No questions at all, but I really appreciate your diligence and the way you explain that to us. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Moore.
Thanks.
Next item, actually, I do this every time lately. First up, we've got the finance report from Ms. Julie Moore for February 2026. Do I hear a motion to adopt the finance report as presented?
So move.
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor? Aye. Those opposed? Ayes have it. Old business. First item of old business relates to an old friend here, the regional airport lease. This is a request approval of resolution number 2026-0302, amending the approved Farmville Regional Airport land lease agreement. Any discussion on the airport lease at this time? And if not,
I'm assuming that everybody's happy now.
They're amenable.
I got a hat I wear around that says "Can't please everybody." I'm pretty sure that always stands true. If there is no discussion, do I hear a motion to adopt resolution 2026-0302?
Yeah, since I had a lot to do with that, I'll make a motion that we adopt resolution number 2026-0302, amending the approved Farmville Regional Airport land lease agreement.
Second.
Motion and second. Any additional discussion at this time? Not hearing it. Ms. McKay, can we have a roll call, please?
Mrs. Amos?
Yes.
Mr. Reed?
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Parrott?
Yes.
Mr. Yoland?
Yes.
Mr. Hunter?
Yes.
Mr. Hardy?
Yes.
The motion passes.
Thank you. Now we'll go into new business. First item, since we have shuffled things a little, is discussion on health insurance, which we had a discussion on this at our work session. Mr. Davis?
I can go into, we can answer any other questions you may have from the work session. I did have some council members take me up on one-on-one or whatever conversations, two-on-two conversations with me and Ms. Moore if they needed any extra understanding of what we presented. And so we're here to answer any questions that may still be out there. I would just suggest from Ms. Moore and I that we feel the best option is for the 250 increase with the 500 plan split of that 7%. We think that is fair and that we're not absorbing everything, but that we're increasing the 250, which is really expensive, and increasing the 500 some that's not as expensive. And then it's up to the employee to make the decision on which insurance is best for them to just not put all the cost on the employee.
Any discussion at this time concerning?
And I will add this. I apologize. I did verify with Ms. Zirkle that we do have to have our information into local choice by April the 1st, and the information being the plans and the percentages that we're charging. So not to put any pressure, but we definitely need to know tonight where we're going with health insurance.
I'd just like to ask, if possible, Mayor, I'd like to see if there's a good reach out opportunity to the employees who are going to be affected by this. And I mean, like a good solid announcement that if they have any questions going forward, that Ms. Zirkle is available to them. They can go and ask and get all the information they possibly need to make the best choice going forward. A lot of people don't have time. A lot of people are going to stick with what they've got. Just want to make sure they understand things as well. And I appreciate the time you and Julie took explaining it to some of the council members who, I'm only speaking myself right now, but a little bit slow. And that's all I'm asking is, like, let's make sure we get a good announcement out there that gets the employees all the information they could possibly have.
We've actually had that discussion of potentially go by department, but in some departments we have to do groups. And she and I do that potentially in here where there's TVs or in the EOC to where we can actually show some of that information and break it out because of the change.
Thank you.
Any additional discussion at this time? Not hearing any. Does that mean you need that in a form of a motion by itself?
Yeah, if you remember from the work session, I need to know, are we doing the pay plan? Are we doing the 2%? Are we just doing the pay plan? And what part of the health insurance that we're going to do so I can finish, we can finish building out the rest of the budget, and that way I can present it to you at the April work session, and then we can go from there about going through the budget after you've had time to review it and set even some other meeting dates just for that if needed. And the goal would be to have a public hearing if possible in May and approving it by June 30. By charter, I have to present it before May 1st, and we have to adopt it before June 30.
Did I understand you correctly, though, that you still had to submit it before April the 1st?
I have to submit the health insurance part.
Are we just addressing the health insurance part now?
I need the salary. I need to know what we're gonna do
Okay.
with the salary
Okay,
piece
I mean,
too.
I just didn't know whether we were breaking them out separately or whether we were doing them all
I mean, you
together.
can break them out however you want, but I mean, the thing that we're asking for is the 250 health insurance, 500, the increase of the 250, the 500 split at the 7% increase, shared, and then, what we presented to you last week of not only the pay plan, but a 2% salary increase.
I mean, we're in it now.
I'd like to make a proposal, if you don't mind, please. This is, I don't know whether or not people realize this has probably been one of the most stressful things I think I've been through in quite a while, in the fact that I want everybody to be able to succeed and flourish. And so consequently, we're kind of backs up against the wall, so to speak, but I'm going to make a proposal tonight that I think will be fair to everyone in my mind. Now, whether the rest of you agree or not, it's up to you, but I'm gonna tell you what my thoughts are on doing this. I would like to make a motion that the town manager build a proposed budget using a meals tax increase from 7% to 8%, a lodging tax from 7% to 8%, and have a public hearing in April. Incorporated the full proposed pay plan, a salary increase for all employees except directors. I want a 3% for all the people that are not directors, and I want a 2% for all the directors and increase, and move forward with a suggested health plan of the Key Advantage 250 increase and the Key Advantage 500 plan with a split of 7% increase. I've thought about this thing. This thing has stressed me out beyond belief, but I think this is fair in my opinion. Now, whether everybody else agrees with it, I don't know, but this is kind of what I've thought through and I'm proposing as a proposal.
Did you make that in the form of a motion? Sounded like it.
Yes.
It did, yeah, that was a motion.
Second.
So there's a motion and a second. Any additional discussion at this time?
Well, prior to us ending our meeting last time, and Mr. Parrott wasn't present, I did ask about the meal tax because I'm along the same lines of trying to, I mean, it's budget time and everything is on the table. We have to look at all the revenue that we can incur, and we also have to look at the fact that things have been cut beyond our control. So in that motion, I do agree, Mr. Parrott.
It is, where do we max, do we have a max out number on, is this going to take us to our max on the food and lodging? That's the first question I
My
have.
understanding is cities and towns don't have a maximum on lodging and meals. Counties do by state code.
If there's, my thoughts are that if there is money above and beyond extra, so to speak, that it's, any extra is not necessarily used, but we need to put some of that aside in contingency or to replace other contingent, or whatever way we can save some money for emergency situations, or as Dr. Davis mentioned, our sweeper truck is not well, and we will eventually have to purchase one. I'd much rather see us save money ahead of time instead of paying interest on something like that. But that's my thoughts on if there are overruns in these. And I don't know if I'm completely amenable to a 1% on each, but that's up for discussion with everybody else as well.
Now, just want to be clear here. We're currently at 7%, 7%. If I understand it correctly, the people who are gathering those taxes, the restaurants, hotels, is it hotels? I think it's just restaurants I'm talking about. They get 3 cents or 3% back as long as they pay on time. Is that correct?
So it's 7, like on the 7% that they collect, they get to calculate a discount of 3% of that 7%, if that makes sense.
How would raising it by 1 cent affect that equation? 1%, beg your. We went up to 8%. Would it still be 3%?
Yes,
for
that 3% does not change. It's in our ordinance. The only way you could change that is if you changed our ordinance.
And like I said, changing the 3% really is not beneficial from a standpoint of if they don't pay, it's going to cost us a lot more to go to court and get that money than giving them 3%.
Since we haven't seen obviously the budget yet, most of the numbers we've seen have been based on a 2% pay raise, and I'm certainly amenable to a 3%, but do you have any thoughts on if that's going to push us into having to cut other items in the budget?
Well, the budget that we have so far without the pay numbers and the insurance, we've already cut 600,000 out of the operating side. I think we shared with you all, the operational expenses are about $4 million less than salaries and benefits. And we've already cut those of what they've asked for. I can tell you, 7%, what did we say, Julie, would, 8% if you go by prior years, we could estimate that we would see $500,000 more in meals tax for the budget for a year. And then the lodging would be $50,000, and that's conservative by 1%. We did the numbers of what that would look like, and you'll have a lot more. You'll be able to do what we suggested, and positive you'll be able to do what Mr. Parrott has suggested, and have a decent cushion and a fund balance.
Is there a rough estimate on that cushion?
600,000-ish, 610,000.
And if we went 0.5% on the, just asking 0.5%, that would cut what, 250, and it would take us to 350-ish in the fund balance. Okay, just trying to get an idea. I mean, that's 350 is not a bad fund balance, for that, but that's just a thought.
The money sitting inside those interest-bearing accounts that we have, are those hypothetically able to use for emergency situations, like if what's the name of the sucky, vacuumy vehicle?
No, the current money we have in those accounts, and I'll let Julie tell you where they're all from. So they're allocated already to departments. They're just sitting there drawing more interest than in a checking account.
Okay, but they're already allocated. That's not an emergency or rainy day fund.
No. That's in LGIP and VIP. We have money in there to make money off of the town's money, but they have been allocated. Like the 2 million that's in reserves.
I don't even want to tell you because I don't want you to spend my money. There is a little bit of money that we put in there when you sold the golf course, but that was supposed to be forgotten about so that you didn't use it. So, if there are emergencies, so that's like $1 million that's sitting in there. Then we have the 2.5 million that Mr. Parrott asked us to set aside for infrastructure, but that's sewer fund money. So, and then we have some set aside where we talk about, we put money away every month for our debt payment. And, for a couple of years now, we'd already had that money to cover the debt payment, but we keep setting it aside anyways. So that's kind of allocated to the, between VIP and LGIP. So there is some, but I want you to pretend there's not, okay?
I think that I'm going to kind of redirect because I think the interest on each of those things, can the interest be only used, like we have, just as an example, we have the money for the firehouse and the money for the fire truck, which has now been paid and moved and reimbursed.
Yes.
But that sewer fund money, it collects interest. How can the interest on each of those be used? Can it only be used, like any interest made on the bond money, can that only be used for the firehouse? Or can we use it anywhere we want to because it's interest?
On the
You get where I'm
firehouse,
going?
I want to double check on the firehouse one. I don't want to give you an incorrect answer. But on all the other money that we have setting in these investment accounts, you could use that for whatever you want it to. Right now, we're just like for his 2.5 that he wanted for the sewer fund. Every month, I allocate a portion of the interest that we get, and it goes back. So it's actually that 2.5, even though we're not putting more money in it every month, it's earning interest because I'm adding interest to it every month. But if you said, no, I don't want you to do that, I want you to put it somewhere else so that we can use it for else, we could do that. So none of that money is restricted to where you can't use the interest. The only one that I would have to verify would be the SNAP account. I want to say we can use it for whatever, but I definitely need to verify that.
But then the reason it's in there is for arbitrage. So in other words, we can't make but a certain amount, or we have to pay.
Correct.
We have to pay taxes on that.
Yeah, so like the,
Because it's a non-exempt bond, but you can't make a certain amount on that type of fund, and that's why it's not an LGIP or VIP because of.
yes, because when we did that ABM project and we borrowed money and they let us take the money and invest it at VIP, I think we earned like 200,000 or 100, it was 100 to 200,000. Well, we had to pay 20-some thousand to the IRS in taxes for the earnings that we earned on it. So, but the SNAP is supposed to be to limit that amount of money that you have to pay to the IRS. Yes.
All right. Well, there still sits a motion and a second on the floor. Any additional discussion concerning Councilman Parrott's motion at this time?
Can he repeat the motion one more time? Is that okay if he repeats?
Sure, I don't mind because it's a little confusing to say the least. I'll summarize a little bit in the fact that from the health plan part of it, I want to do exactly what we've been talking about all along. Split it down to 7% and do the 250 and the 500 to where the town employees get to choose which plan they want to use. In regards to our pay raise for our town employees, I want the entry-level employees or anybody that is not a director to get a 3% pay raise. Anybody that is a director, I want to give a 2% raise. And in my mind, I think that's fair because the people that are at the top, that 2% in a lot of cases could be more than what somebody in the 3% range would get with the 3% raise. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to support the town employees that don't make the big bucks, so to speak. I want them to be able to have more of a benefit from a 3%, because at the end of the day with this insurance, it's going to be really, really close as to what they take home, whether they're actually going to take home money, more money, less money. I kind of think I'm hoping we're going to be at least even. I hope they don't not take home as much money as they currently are taking home. That's kind of my process of thought with this. I want them to be able to breathe, and it's the best I could do.
Do the taxes increases have to be, do they need to be a separate motion? I'm just curious. I'm not sure how that works.
So this motion right here is all about saying you want us to move forward with a public hearing. We can't raise the tax without a public hearing. I can build the budget based on that, and if we have to come back and it doesn't pass, then I have to change the budget. But what you're saying is for me to do the budget based on those two going up of what he read, and doing the budget with a 3% for employees other than directors, and directors at a 2%, and the health increases that we showed you all to the 250 to employees, absorbing more than they do now, and then the 500, the 500 employees splitting the 7% with the town, and then you're going with also the full pay plan.
But all of this is just a motion and a second to build the budget around these parameters. They'll still.
And to have a public hearing
Yes.
on the tax increases.
Yes.
Is the 3% you said for all employees, which I presume includes wage?
So the 3% is all full-time people except directors.
Okay, so.
So the
what about-
directors are-
What about part-time? No.
No.
How many people are on part-time versus full-time?
Most of our part-time are bus drivers for FAB.
If you don't mind, I'd like to call for a vote.
If there's no other discussion, we
It's
can.
within the rules.
Yeah, absolutely. Ms. McKay, roll call.
Mr. Reed,
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer,
Yes.
Mr. Parrott,
Yes.
Mr. Yolen,
Yes.
Mr. Hunter,
Yes.
Mr. Hardy,
Yes.
Mrs. Amos.
Yes.
The motion passes.
Thank you, Ms. McKay. So parameters to build the budget. Let's do a public hearing on the increases.
We'll draft the ordinances for the April meeting, have a public hearing at the April meeting, regular meeting, and then based on that, you can vote. And if we have to adjust after that, then that's what we do.
And four. Thank you. Next item in new business is request approval of resolution number 2026-0301, establishing financial reporting requirements for nonprofit organizations requesting appropriations from the town, which was a topic of discussion at the work session as well. Any additional discussion on this, or is there a motion to adopt resolution 2026-0301?
Just, Mayor, just for reference, it does not take effect for this coming budget year. It'll be following,
year.
so that they have time to implement those changes.
I'll make a motion, we adopt resolution. I'm sorry, you had a question?
If you don't mind, I would like to have an understanding. Can I have that read to me as far as what we're proposing in this resolution first, if you don't mind?
Ms. Julie Moore.
So, we want to be good stewards of the money of the citizens, and so we want to implement a resolution or a new policy change saying that, if you receive more than, if you're a nonprofit and you receive more than $25,000 from the town, that you should submit an audit to us. Under that, you should give us a review, compilation, or 990, whatever you have. It doesn't say that, the resolution's written to where you don't have to, have an audit. We're just asking you to have one so that you can submit it to us, so that we can review it, and then either way, we bring it to you in the budget, and it's up to you if you want to allow that organization to get the funding, regardless if they have the audit or not.
Thank you. I'd like to make a comment in regards to this resolution and see how the rest of council feels. I would like to mandate that as far as a request. When we give somebody taxpayers' money, I feel like it's our responsibility to hold them accountable for what they do with that money. And if we don't mandate it, then of course that means that they don't have to tell us anything if they don't want to. Whereas if we mandate it, then they're required to tell it to us. At least that's my thought. Am I right?
Well, you are correct. We could mandate it, but the other side of that is, instead of going to the mandate piece, is if they don't supply it, let's say it's over 25 and they need the audit, but they don't supply it, it's still up to you whether you give them that money or not.
Okay, I follow what you're saying. So it's our discretion if we decide.
Yeah, it's never a guarantee.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
Mr. Hunter?
I make a motion we adopt resolution number 2026-0301, establishing financial reporting requirements for nonprofit organizations requesting appropriations from the town of Farmville.
Second.
Motion and second. Any additional discussion at this time? Ms. McKay, can we have a roll call, please?
Mr. Dwyer,
Yes.
Mr. Parrott,
Yes.
Mr. Yoland,
Yes.
Mr. Hunter,
Yes.
Mr. Hardy,
Yes.
Mrs. Amos,
Yes.
Mr. Reed.
Yes.
The motion passes.
All right. Next item on the agenda is request approval of resolution number 2026-0303, renewal of a cable franchise agreement with Shentel. Mr. Davis, are you going to speak to this, or are we calling Mr. Elder up?
This is only because it is expired, and so they're requesting that we amend it and keep it for another, I believe it says 15 years, and that's what the last one was, and the one before that. So whatever, it just falls into those periods of time. And we receive 5%, well, we don't, the state receives all of the franchise fees, correct me if I'm wrong, Julie, and then they distribute, after they take their payment for doing the work, they distribute it to us. So in your budget, you'll see franchise fees and communication and franchise, whatever. That line item is what this is from.
Yes, so this letter came to me, and I passed it on to Mr. Elder, and he and Scott talked about it. Mr. Elder, do you have anything to add to this topic of conversation? No, pretty cut and dry. So there you have it. If there's no further discussion, do I hear a motion to approve resolution number 2026-0303?
I move that we approve resolution number 2026-03-03, renewal of cable franchise agreement with Shentel.
Second.
Motion and second. Any additional discussion? Not hearing any. Ms. McKay, can we have a roll call, please?
Mr. Parrott,
Yes.
Mr. Yoland,
Yes.
Mr. Hunter,
Yes.
Mr. Hardy,
Yes.
Mrs. Amos,
Yes.
Mr. Reed,
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. And then last item on the new business is the discussion held last week at the work session, moved to the end of the agenda, council mayor salary study.
Mr. Mayor, can we move that? Can we move this to next month? Is that possible? Is that too late for you, Dr. Davis? Okay. Let's talk then. I know Ms. Amos brought this up during our last meeting, and I was in agreement with it. But with all the things that we have going on, I wanted to take care of the employees first, because they are the engine that pull the train. But I'm still open for discussion in reference to increasing our salaries, whether it's next year or the following year. But I know we can't hold things for future council to absorb.
I think personally, I would rather have the discussion next year and just leave it as status quo.
I'm in agreement.
Any additional discussion at this time? I feel like that's really in my face.
Quickly, I'm so sorry, Mayor. I understand that there was a little bit of a mix-up, not intentional, in the way the data was presented about the salaries, and that there was no distinction between counties and towns. Well, then I take it back.
Well, they were all listed in the same chart together.
They're in the
yes.
same chart. I mean, the counties are first and towns. I mean, and I did put town of for all of them.
All right. Any additional discussion at this time? Not hearing any. I'm all move from that discussion.
I mean, there's two that have said wait till next year, and I don't think nobody else is.
We just need a number. If the majority, and like I said, this is not my input at all. If you're gonna do something, I need to know what it is so that we can do it in the budget. If it's 1,000, if it's 2,000, if it's 3,000.
I said 10,000 last time. Well, I said 8, and then 10 the following year, and I believe Dan said if we're gonna do it, do 10, and then.
Well, I said, I didn't see any reason to commit to a second year is what I said.
But yeah, so, and then Dr. Davis gave his reasoning for 10, so, no, I mean, you did, anyway, so,
I am not in this
no,
fight.
I know.
I can assure
I'm
you.
I'm just saying if we're gonna do it, then I think 10 would be fair, and we just gave raises to the employees, so that's my saying, so.
So your increase would be from 6,000 a year to 10,000 a year. Is that what you're saying, Ms.
That's what I'm
Amos?
saying, that's what I'm saying.
Which would be pretty much exactly what we're going to be, most of us will get next year anyway, right? Based on the reduction of the stipend?
If you're referring to the in lieu of money from the insurance, yeah. So in lieu of money from the insurance, last budget was a reduction of 1,500. This budget is another reduction of 1,500. Is that correct, Mr. Davis? Julie?
25.
25?
I don't remember exactly. I know it's 3 years, and I don't remember the total or any.
Yes, please.
Don't we still have another one after this too?
So for fiscal year '26, the benefit will be reduced by $2,500, leaving a remaining benefit of $6,000. For fiscal year '27, the benefit will be reduced by another $2,500, leaving a remaining benefit of $3,500. The final reduction will be in fiscal year 2028. The benefit will be reduced again by $2,500, leaving a final ongoing benefit of $1,000 annually.
I stand corrected.
So that being said,
7,500 reduction.
we're going to be at 9,500 starting in July, including the stipend for lack of a better word. So, you know, it's going to go down and then we'd go back up. If we just basically keep it where it is at 10, that's not a change, but a little bit.
Or you can wipe it out and make it even.
Correct me if I'm wrong on this now. We're talking about the stipend, not the base salary itself. The base salary itself, I believe, is 7,000?
No.
Six.
Council makes 7,000.
I thought.
I mean,
Six.
6,000. The vice mayor makes 7,200. My eyes were looking at the vice mayor. And the mayor makes 9,000. If you look at the chart, the closest town to you is, or of what you want to be at, is Ashland, which is 9317, and South Boston, which is 9600 for council members. The mayors are different. And so those are the highest towns in the information I provided you.
But there are less amounts as well, correct?
There are less amounts, yes.
I'm just saying that right now, with between our current and the stipend that we get, starting in July in the new budget year, it will be $9,500. So
And with a $4,000 raise, it'd be 13, so.
no. I see what you're saying.
Let's use words correctly, because stipend is what the salary is essentially. You're getting a salary is the stipend. What Ms. Zirkle was referring to is the in lieu of money if you do not take the town insurance, which is a benefit that is being phased out as far as the extent of how much you're reimbursed.
And we voted on that.
We did vote on that, yes. Well, you guys voted on that. You guys voted on that. I'm just hanging out. You got that? Yeah, we got it. We got to live mic it.
So I was looking at trying to make it a wash. So then we're not getting that for the next 2-3 years or whatever it is, and we're just basically making the salary what we want it to be. So we're wiping one out and just putting the other one where the other one is lower anyway, and then we can just move forward. So it's not really an increase.
Are you asking to basically end the stipend this year?
No, the in lieu of money is going away. So if you add to your salary, or if you want to call it stipend, salary, the equal amount, then you're staying at the same level as you go forward. That's just going into the salary versus take-home pay through a benefit in lieu of.
That's where my brain was. The wash.
I'm not sure I'm probably alone here, but this is a confusing topic for me. Mr. Hunter, are you thinking that we do away with the in lieu of benefit altogether? That we had, is that?
Well, we voted on it. It's going away. Or you
I know,
guys
but
voted
over-
on
but
it.
over a
It's going
3-year time
away.
period. Yeah, that's why
I'm saying do it immediately and just put the salary where we say what needs to be, and then we don't have to worry about the drop down of anything.
For council, right, Mr. Hunter?
Yeah, that was, thank you, Mr. Hardy. That was my clarification. The cutout total, instead of phasing it, is only for council.
Yeah, it's
not
only for council.
not
That's what we're
employees.
discussing now.
Yeah.
Employees are where they are.
That's a good distinction.
It does state that you'll be grandfathered to continue receiving the $1,000. Yeah. So it does say that you're grandfathered to keep receiving the $1,000 payment beyond FY '28. Anybody grandfathered in. But if you take the town's insurance, obviously you've permanently forfeited this benefit. So there will still be $1,000 for anybody that is still on council and it's phasing out in FY '28. But you'll still get $1,000 beyond that, and anybody else in the town that's grandfathered in.
So
That would be included in the base salary, the 1,000, am I correct?
I mean, it's not your salary, it's your take, it's essentially what you take home at the end, right? Like, which
Yes,
is-
well, same thing.
For years, council took, if you took the in lieu of benefit money, your take home was more, right? And it's being phased out as we go through budget years.
That's, my thought was, that's after all the in lieu of money is taken away.
Yeah, there's a baseline of 1,000 that stays of in lieu of money, which was, at the time, a move to incentivize people to take the insurance as opposed to taking the nice in lieu of.
So I'm gonna ask that question, is that if we go to 10 and we get rid of our in lieu of, and then it's just that grandfathered in 1,000 for the in lieu of for everybody. I'm not asking for that. I'm just asking, I'm asking for the clarification of what people are thinking on that one. That's where I'm.
That depends on if you're setting a separate policy for yourselves, whether you're saying we're gonna do away with the in lieu of completely, or are you gonna do part of the town policy or not part of the town policy of what you just suggest? You see what I'm saying, of 1,000 or not?
I think you have to keep the insurance or the in lieu of 1,000 because there are council members who take the insurance, correct?
Once you switch to take the insurance, you don't get any, you can't go back to the in lieu of ever again. Not even the 1,000, that, you're done.
Yeah, okay.
So basically, what you're saying, Mr. Mayor, is that the 1,000 is gonna be there regardless of what our
Yeah, so if you.
salary, stipend, whatever is.
Right, if you said your preference was for council to make 10,000 in salary, you would still take home 11. Because of that 11,000, or because of that 1,000 in lieu of.
Unless you went to a 3,000, I mean, instead of Mrs. Sally's proposal, if you did a 3,000 plus 1,000, you would be hitting that 10 range, right?
That is true.
Here's another thing, are we gonna raise the vice mayor and the mayor, or do we leave them, everybody at 10? They get it. They are elevated above the rest of us.
Shoot me down if you want. I don't mind. I'm going to make a motion that we leave it exactly like it is and move forward. And I call for a vote for that motion. Got to have a second.
Second.
So there's a motion and a second on the floor. Any additional discussion at this time? Not hearing any. Ms. McKay, can we have a roll call, please?
Mr. Yolen?
Yes.
Mr. Hunter?
This is what you call fair voting. Yes.
Mr. Hardy?
I expect we can look at this again next year, so I'm gonna say yes for now.
Mrs. Amos?
No.
Mr. Reed?
The motion on the floor and the second was to move on from this discussion and leave it as is for the year. So if you're voting yes, you're voting to move on. If you're voting no, you're saying that you were trying to have this discussion now.
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Parrott?
Yes.
On a vote of 6-1, the motion passes.
Thank you, Ms. McKay. Next item up on the agenda is the town manager's report. Mr. Davis.
First, I'm going to call up the Public Works Director to give you an update on the sidewalk study, High Street Pump Station, and Venable Street storm structure. That's part of my report.
Okay.
Good evening, council members.
Welcome to the dance.
I appreciate it. So TRC met with staff yesterday at the High Street Pump Station, and they have started the inspections on the High Street Pump Station. All the sidewalk assessment all the data's been collected. We're just waiting on the reports for that. And for the Venable Street, I have a meeting with TRC on Friday at 9 to discuss the inspection and start on the Venable Street project. And that's the status of those three big projects. Have any questions?
Yes, sorry. Can you repeat the part about the sidewalk study? Because I couldn't hear you.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I met with Hurt and Profit. They've already gotten all the data collected for the sidewalks. I'm just waiting for them to get the data put in and give me the report. I'm hoping to see the report soon, but I'm just not really sure exactly when. I haven't heard back from them yet.
Thank you.
But they do have all the data.
Did they give you any kind of timeframes, how long it would take them to assess anything yet?
No, there's a lot involved in what they had to do.
I realize that. I was just hoping.
Well, the assessment's done.
Yeah.
It's a matter of them putting in all the data and the assessments they've done into a report.
Right. Yeah, we're waiting. The data's collected. They've already walked all the sidewalks, got everything. They're just trying to get a report to me.
So we're close.
We're close. We're very close, yes. Any further questions?
How you doing? Are you happy? You've been here like 6-7 months now. Are you feeling it?
Great.
You like it?
Loving it.
All right. Any other questions?
E-
I think we're good.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Davis.
The FBO bid is due on March 25th, so we'll be reviewing that to see of any qualifying areas for that. Our paving bid is due on the 18th of this month. So I just want to remind you of some streets that are for this year to help individuals out. Just as reminders, Ford Street, and I did not do that on purpose at first. It's on my paper. Greenhouse Road, Millwood Road, part of Price Drive, part of Scott Drive, Spotswood Drive, Alley Court, Barrow Street, Beverly Court, Cabell's Court, 5th Avenue, 4th Avenue, Jesse's Way, Lee Drive Extended, Russell's Way, Sanford Street, 7th Avenue, and 6th Avenue. And so, as you know, those are usually done spring, before June, so spring, first part of early summer. And then just a schedule of fire station. They're in schematic design, which should be completed by the end of this month. They'll have construction documents by August, mid-August. Construction should start by September 11th. And then the addition piece will be completed first. That'll be a year, so September 19th of 27. And then the renovation completion, which means the existing we should be done completely in February of 28. And that's all my updates, unless y'all have questions for me.
All right. I'll go around the table. Mr. Hardy?
I don't have anything.
Mr. Hunter?
Nothing.
Mr. Yola?
Thank you very much, Mayor. Thank you all very much for coming and participating and being a part of tonight's conversation. A lot of information shared today. I had one suggestion going forward for the way we take votes on the council. We always seem to start with Miss Amos at the end and everything. I was wondering if Sally, if it was possible, if at the end of the evening we could take, Mary could figure out who the first person who voted was, or the first person who voted in the last called vote, and then start with the next person at the next meeting, just to mix it up a little bit so that I'm not always starting. I am a firm believer in ladies first, honestly. But I was just thinking it might change the dynamic a little bit and just kind of spread the joy.
If I could, I mean, it won't help Ms. Amos, Mr. Yolen, but a lot of places will do just by alphabetical order of your last name.
No.
That doesn't help her at all.
No, and it doesn't help me at all either.
Well, in the past, we have discussed this, and say for tonight, Sally started off. Next meeting, Chucky would start off. The next meeting, Danny would start off. So that the same person, we had this problem, and the person that had to vote first for years did not like it. And I think it really is a fair way of putting the heat, so to speak, on a different person each time when the vote is called for.
So would everybody like to move the first vote, first called council member each night? Is that
I think it's
in agreement?
Well, Mary also makes the round robin, so we would still continue her round robin on the second and third and fourth vote. Is that what you're saying?
It would just start with somebody different every meeting, yeah. All right. Mr.
Or we
Parrott?
could do like
Don't introduce something else
state,
into this.
and then we could do like, please register your vote, and you could do it from your laptop, and then everybody's voting at the same time, and you don't know how they're voting, and it just pops up on the board.
No.
Mr. Parrott?
Yes, sir. Oh, I'm fine. I'm fine. I've caused enough problems for the one night.
Mr. Dwyer?
I'm good.
Mr. Reed? Ms. Amos?
I'm good.
I don't have much either. The weather is warming up. It's nice to get outside, walk around, see some folks out recreating. Remember that in these times, it's good to get out for that nature RX and get a little outdoor therapy, run into some folks. Remind yourself that we live in a beautiful community. With that, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor? Aye. Those opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you.